In this video, I want to talk about what is statistics. And as you can see, it's a branch of mathematics that involves collecting, organizing, analyzing, and interpreting data to make inferences about a population. So we're going to spend the majority of the first part of this course talking about the collecting, organizing, and analyzing. And then we're going to move into the interpreting from what we call inference. This branch of statistics that we're going to talk about first off is called descriptive statistics because it's going to help us to describe our data. We're going to gather our data from the population. The population is the entire collection of interests. If you're thinking of a picture, this is the big picture. This is what you see when you look at what you're trying to study. In order to make that big picture, though, we look at the details. The details are going to be gathered from the sample. Samples are smaller, representative subsets of the entire population. The goal is to make a sample as representative of the population as possible. We use samples because they're smaller, they require less resources such as time and money, and they're easier to take. So again, looking at this, we can see that the population is the collection of all outcomes, or what you're interested in. We define a population by what's called the parameter. A parameter is a true numerical value. We generally denote a parameter with a Greek letter, and you'll see later on throughout the course we'll be using a lot of Greek letters such as mu, which stands for the population average, or sigma, which stands for the population standard deviation. Each population is estimated by a value called the statistic. A statistic comes from the sample, and it's an estimate or a guess of the population. But that guess is based off of data. When we use statistics, we want to use those statistics to draw conclusions about the population. Here's an example. An agency wants to know the opinions of students at Lone Star College on the construction of a new road. The agency surveys 800 students. I want to identify the population in the sample. So starting with the population again, the population is the big picture. What am I actually interested in, and who am I trying to study to get that interest? Well, the people that I'm interested in are all the people that go to Lone Star College who are going to use this new road. How do I gather information about those people? Well, instead of looking at everybody, because that would be kind of tough to do, we're going to look at 800 students. Those make up the sample. So when we think about a population, the population is big, and it's almost impossible to survey everybody. If you do survey everybody in the population, or you're able to gather everybody in the population, it's called a census. Do you know how often we do a census? We do it every 10 years. Why do we do it every 10 years? Because of the amount of resources it requires us to take. It's a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of effort. Therefore, we do it every 10 years. So how do we study the population over those 10 years? Well, we gather samples, which are smaller again. They're representative of the entire population, and they require less resources and less time. So remember that when we're talking about these things.